Okay, we're back here on Overtime. Martin Short, what was your favorite SNL character to play?
I would say that was Nathan Thurman.
Oh, I love Nathan.
Nathan Thurman, the defensive lawyer.
So we need him now. There's ever more bullshit.
I know that.
I know that.
You don't think I know
with
that?
the cigarette, that was always. You know, another thing I was amazed at in your book that I didn't know, that you only did one season on Saturday Night Live.
I had a one-year contract.
I mean, you were so good and made such an impression. I thought you were on there for like
characters.
5 years.
I was at Grimley for Halloween.
You were?
Absolutely. My mom was trying to find a picture for me to bring, but seriously, I must say.
So you still go...
Uncanny.
You still go out for Halloween?
This is some time ago.
This is 3 years ago.
When he was a child.
How much candy did you
Okay, come on.
Okay, were the recent elections, Jeremy, in Afghanistan legitimate, or was it rigged by America to ensure that the most viable puppet would win? Ooh.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I don't think they were free and fair elections.
Neither are ours.
Right now, there are ours. Large swaths of the population don't vote. The Taliban.
Neither do ours.
Right, exactly. No, the Taliban still control their parts of the country.
So do ours.
I mean, you know, the U.S. helped to create an epic mess there, and at the end of the day, we're going to leave. The Taliban are still going to be strong. The place is going to be largely unstable, and there will be some sections of it that are much better off than they were under the Taliban.
If after 9/11 we had done nothing but enforce the cockpit doors and increased airport security, wouldn't we be better off?
Yes. I'll directly answer it, yes.
I mean, you've got 8 million kids in school in Afghanistan now. You've got a majority of the population that has access to education, health care, basic services that they didn't have access to before. I mean, Afghanistan is...
Wait.
You have a...
Afghanistan, 8 million kids in school.
Okay, but...
First of all, there's a huge dog and pony show going on. I don't know if you've been to Afghanistan, but I have multiple times. There's a huge dog and pony show going on in Afghanistan where they'll take members of Congress, they'll take political figures, they'll take human rights organizations, and they'll show them this sort of green zone that they've built where all of that is true. You step outside of it or you remove the occupation forces guarding it, and the whole thing crumbles back to where it was.
Yeah.
You know, just because you've been to Afghanistan, Mr.
Yeah.
You know, Jeremy, I have an Afghan at the end of my bed. And I'm not saying it makes me as much of an expert, but...
Oh, God.
All right.
We don't like to believe we can't make things better. Right? It's against the American fiber.
Right.
It's like to say, how much we want to do, what if we can't do something?
But that goes back to the Greeks. That's Western man. Eastern man is more accepting. You know, that's the yin and the yang thing, whereas the Western man thinks he can change fate. That's in a lot of Greek plays.
This isn't just changing fate. This is like changing an entire other culture you don't understand. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I've gotten from vets come back from Iraq, Afghanistan, I've talked to a little bit, is that they're under no illusions. Almost all of them tell me, you know, we knew this shit was going to happen as soon as we left.
Right.
We understand nothing was really taking root here.
Right.
We were doing, I mean, in some ways I think their sacrifices are more worthy because they knew when they were doing it, it wasn't going to work.
Right.
But they still did it and risked their lives
and nobly and honorably.
Yes.
And
if you really want
to... This country can't acknowledge that it lost 2 wars. And it can't acknowledge that that means that we cannot start fighting another fucking one in the same place and expect a different result.
And that if you really want to change your culture, you have to spend 100 years there.
Yes.
Not 10. That's just not going to work.
And even then, you look at the British Empire, they're there for 100 years and they end up being as affected by where they are as affecting them.
Well,
I mean, it's a two-way street.
You know, the failure was in there were so many failures, but the places where we've had these successes, right? If you look at after World War II, you have a German occupation that lasted until now. We still have troops in Germany. We still have troops in Japan. But these cultures did change and modernize and become
They were modern to begin with. It wasn't like Germany had to come up from where Afghanistan...
members of a civilized, globalized world.
Wait a
That's
second.
what
You're
Japan
not really
is.
comparing Germany with Afghanistan, are you?
No. What I'm saying, Bill, is I think what Andrew was saying, and I think to your point, it's that, you know, we can't change these cultures overnight. We think we can, but sure as hell, if we're going to, we have to stay and commit and be there.
What right do we even have to change these cultures? I mean, that's the part of it that
exactly, yeah. Well, but we did help change Japan, didn't we? Didn't we help change Japan?
Well, if they're throwing acid in schoolgirls' faces.
That's not changing culture, Bill.
No.
That's confronting people who are despicable criminals who would do something like that. That's not a cultural. There's no culture.
But it
in
is.
Afghanistan where now, Billy, it's
well,
your turn to throw acid at your sister for not wearing the hijab. I mean, that's just not. That's not culture.
But it's not just a few people who believed in doing
and it's also not just a few people who were shooting people in the face in Afghanistan and waterboarding people. I mean, there are massive crimes that are committed in the name of religion across the board. We didn't even talk about. I mean, you were talking about a little bit about why people think you're Jewish, but I mean, the fact is, the fact that Israel's our client state is a big part of our problem. Unless we sort of reset how we approach that area of the world, nothing's going to fundamentally change.
Will Obama veto the bill that passed in the House today directing the government to move forward on the Keystone XL pipeline? Yes, of course he will.
Wait.
As he should.
Wait, will he what? Will he veto
Will
it?
he veto the Senate passed the Keystone pipeline. The House passed the Keystone pipeline, and the Senate probably will in the next Congress, and then he will veto it.
Yeah, he probably will. I think it's more. Why would he veto it though? I mean, it actually
I don't
will
know,
create
maybe
jobs.
because we're putting so much
But what's really
carbon in
interesting,
the atmosphere, we want to live.
It's actually a very divisive issue.
Why?
It's amazing.
Why
It's a very divisive issue on his own side, though. Labor is totally for the Keystone pipeline, so I mean, it's not like it's just throwing something to his face.
But at a certain point, if you're president for almost 8 years, can't you just go with what is right and what must be done?
And he absolutely
What's he got
clearly
to
is.
lose?
But
Yeah,
what, is it right to create jobs? For the economy? Is it right to?
How many jobs?
I thought we hated socialism. Is it that the government should always be the people who are funding a jobs program? I thought we hated that.
I
thought we were the people who pull ourselves up by our bootstraps.
I thought we wanted to rely on our own natural resources and not on the resources of dictators.
I want to rely on renewable energy that doesn't
get there.
pollute.
It takes time. You have a transition.
Well, it
I'd
takes
rather draw on our own energy resources.
Well, it takes
in the
time
interim,
when
right?
one party is completely bought off by the extraction industry. That's what takes time.
Yes.
I mean, there's absolutely no reason, as I said to Rand Paul, changing technologies creates jobs. If you guys didn't get all your bribe money from the oil companies...
They're not ready today.
They're not
it takes
ready.
time.
They weren't ready 10 years ago.
Yes.
They weren't ready 20 years ago.
We're
They have to be
getting
ready.
there. We are getting there, though.
They have to
Natural
be ready
gas is
eventually,
getting
or
there.
there will not be a
We're doing
future.
very well with natural gas. We have a natural gas renaissance happening in this country, and that's actually where huge jobs are being created. That's really where, I mean, that's the real story of why the president won Ohio.
That's not non-carbon either.
I think we've pushed the envelope as far as we can push it.
I mean, you believe in global warming, right?
Yeah, certainly, and humans are contributing to it. I get it.
Contributing?
Causing.
The cows are contributing.
The cows are too.
Yeah, it's
well,
not-
that's
right,
humans.
right.
That's why we have so many cows. You're talking about the farting.
Right.
Yeah, methane. Yes.
That I am.
I mean,
it's a big deal.
People giggle, but
it's legit. Yeah,
it's legit. I'm so glad we could
Listen, I missed
agree on. I'm so glad the panel could come to an agreement on cow farting. Is something we have to turn our attention to. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. All right.